Good morning, everyone. My name is Shelby, and these are my partners, Andrew and Zach. And throughout this semester, we have been working in conjunction with attorneys at Perkins Coie to develop an application to assist pro bono attorneys filing asylum applications for the very first time. So we began our project by looking at what the problem was we were trying to solve. We quickly learned that the problem was that pro bono attorneys right now, they really don't have much guidance when they're trying to file these asylum applications. There's no checklist for them to go to or no streamlined process, so they're just figuring it out themselves. We also realized that this is an even bigger problem because attorneys, they don't have room for error in these cases. And that's because it can cost an asylum seeker his or her life when a simple mistake is made, and that can result in having an asylum application being denied. So after we looked at the problem, another thing we noticed was that the number of asylum seekers is also continuing to rise. So in order to keep up with this need that's probably going to keep rising, we're going to need more attorneys who are able to file these asylum applications successfully. So after we noted our problem, we looked at what the current state was. And so like I said, there's just no uniform process. And attorneys, they're just jumping right in, learning it themselves, making these mistakes, and just hoping to correct themselves. So after this, we also tried to understand the current process and the laws more generally. So we did this by first consulting with Aletta, who is our subject matter expert in this case, and then we also reviewed a treatise on asylum and immigration law. So after we looked at these two things, we next were able to look at an immigration court practice guide, which is helpful for attorneys now, but it's just very cumbersome for them to go through. And then we also reviewed just typical asylum forms that are filed in every single one of these cases, as you can see here. So after doing all of this, we were able to come up with our solution. And that solution is called Asylum Angel. Asylum Angel is a one-stop shop which provides guidance for pro bono attorneys who are filing applications for the very first time.
So what is Asylum Angel? Asylum Angel provides an accessible, easy-to-use roadmap for nascent attorneys in asylum law, tailored to their specific case based off of a few questions that they answer in the app. And we can even, on the back end, prepare a few of the required forms, including FOIA requests. Keep in mind that the problem was not so much that the world needed another awesome app, but that there really wasn't a process. So this helps prepare attorneys so that they can spend less time learning and more time actually doing. And this is why we chose Neota Logic to build an expert system. It leverages if-then reasoning. For example, if the asylum seeker first stepped foot in Canada, then they need to apply for asylum in Canada and not in the US, even though they're in the US now. And this is our use case, our hypothetical use case. Atticus is going to do right by his clients, that is certain. But he might not know asylum law in and out. He might not have even practiced since TV was in black and white. So what does he do? He logs on to our app, answers a few simple questions, and then receives this customized checklist, as well as the opportunity to complete the EOIR 28 and FOIA requests using document automation. Here's one of our sample questions. We're asking if Atticus has submitted his FOIA requests to various bureaucracies that he needs to. And right underneath we have a see more function, which explains why we're asking. And this teaches Atticus, even in the app, what he needs to learn. And then he's learning here on our checklist report as well. Right in the center there we have our deadlines, so he doesn't miss his deadlines. And then we provide a checklist of next steps. We recommend that he secure an interpreter, submit his FOIA requests, obviously, and then find an expert witness on the country where the refugee seeker is going from, and on and on.
So here's an example of how our app leverages document automation. Instead of Atticus having to locate, read, and then try to understand this form, the user is provided with simple questions whose answers will then automatically populate the form, giving that to the attorney. And here's a portion of that completed form. As you can see, based on the inputs, the correct form is supplied as well as the requisite information, cutting down on time, energy, and room for error. Here's another area that was mentioned that we leveraged document automation, and that is with the FOIA requests. We asked ourselves how much time is being spent having to repeatedly draft and file these FOIA requests. It's basically the same language, just making the same email over and over again. Similar to the EOIR 28, based on simple information provided by the user, Instead of here generating a form, we generate a personalized email, which the attorney is then able to take away and then email out to the FOIA proper agencies immediately. Asylum Angel provides information, guidance, and form generation. No longer will attorneys have to waste time wondering what the next step is or wondering if he or she has missed anything. Asylum Angel will help attorneys carry out complex, routine procedures in asylum application litigation. Asylum Angel aims to achieve efficiency, quality output, and uniform performance. Asylum litigations give great weight to the credibility of the applicants. If forms are being submitted riddled with grammatical mistakes or required forms are just missing, the brunt of those mistakes is ultimately felt by the applicant and not the attorney. Additionally, missed deadlines is the single most cited reasons for unsuccessful asylum applications. By providing this one-stop shop for attorneys for these applications, attorneys like Atticus will now not only be able to timely meet deadlines, but also, most importantly, provide successful representation for these application seekers who are desperately seeking asylum in the United States. Thank you.